Because if they would have missed you, you would have just went down.
Yeah.
I love that about you. I really love that about
She
you.
knew how close I was to missing her.
I think I remember thinking to myself, have I made Eric mad today? If anything, I need to make sure.
And there was, originally we didn't want to do these lenses, but
No.
once you got them in, they were just so cool. We
Well,
couldn't, we couldn't not use them.
I don't like lenses, and then I was really nervous about not being able to see.
Gotcha.
I didn't like that feeling, but then once they were in, it was actually very nice.
Yeah, it looks really
Now,
cool.
this
So
is an
cool.
old trick that I learned when I was a freshman in high school, 13 years old, making movies. The first thing I read was that if you shoot something upside down, as in turn the camera upside down, when the film is processed right side up, the whole shot will be in reverse. So we actually put the camera upside down, and
I acted backwards.
Nikki acted backwards, but everything else...
Can't tell. It's great.
So she's actually acting forward while everything behind her is going backward, which just goes to show you the simplest things are still the best.
I love that was the day, I think my first day I was on set, and Victor came to me 5 seconds before we were going to shoot that, and he's like, oh yeah, I need to talk to you about acting backwards. It's like,
It's something an actress would love to hear just before she's about to roll.
it's kind of like, where's my agent?
No pressure.
This is one of the digital shots done by the orphanage on Justin here. I asked him to just speed up his mouth and leave the rest of the frame alone so I could put these whispers in it.
So creepy, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so creepy.
He did a very nice job too. He was just saying all kinds of things.
He was
you
running
know,
a very
just-
funny monologue almost about
Yeah.
the first movie, kind of.
Yeah, this is where the style of the film comes in, Victor. You did a good job doing all these cool insert shots and
Oh,
stuff.
thank you. Yeah, I really enjoyed the way these dreams turned out.
Yeah, they're
It's
beautiful.
kind of cool to see Justin back, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Very
that.
much so.
just like that.
It's good to see him back.
No pun intended.
That was real sweat on Nikki right there. That bus was hotter than hell.
And look, here's all of you guys in one shot, which I find amazing. And even Mary
Yeah.
is going to join them here in a
It's
sec.
nice.
Are you okay? Look at me. I thought you were gone.
What do you remember about this, Nikki? What's going on? What's going through an actress's mind when she has a huge monologue that's going to drive the whole scene?
I try not to think about it. Really, I don't know. I try not to think too much about it because I think if I overthink it, then it's very hard to get to those emotional places. It's got to be,
You got to keep the pressure out of your head so you can perform, basically.
yeah, so you can just let it go.
Well, whatever you did at work, because you were fantastic here.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And now this is where Eric's attitude problem comes back.
Does it ever leave?
No.
I noticed you said Eric and not Scott there. That's it. Thanks. What?
Here's what I remember. Pushing in on Nikki, the dolly kept cracking and the wood under it kept crunching.
yeah.
And we had to go through and cut out these little pops in between her words. So the tracks would be clean, because you don't want to loop something like this. You want to use the performance, of course.
Well, and this was also the night, if you remember, that there was a little mix-up on the angle that we shot it in, and you told me that we were going to have to reshoot it. So I
that's
said,
right.
please let me know if we're going to shoot it or not, because I don't want to stop being
Sure.
emotional.
Sure.
And you made me hold my emotion the entire night, and then decided that you weren't going to shoot it and forgot to tell me.
So Nikki cried for 13
So I
hours
cried
straight.
all day and had such a headache that night.
She was dehydrated.
Oh, I thought I
that
had this
morning,
whole
then.
I thought I had this whole actor thing licked, but obviously, many things to learn.
I had some names for you that night, but I got over it the next day, Victor.
Well, if it's any consolation, they all got back to me.
Oh, you should bring up the whole PA speaker thing in the bus.
Yeah, our sound guy Steve rigged a PA system. I couldn't sit on the bus, of course, so I needed a way to communicate with all these guys without having to get up into the bus. Well, there's already a camera crew in there and lights, and all of you guys crammed in there. So they had a little PA system where I could sit in my director's chair, press a button, speak into a mic, and tell you guys what I needed. The funny part about that is you guys didn't know that when we weren't rolling, I could hear every nasty thing you said about me. Every piece of conversation on there. Patty and I would just look at each other. Patty's my script super. She could hear everything, too, because she had headphones, and we would just shake our head. Occasionally I would go, I have to say something. She goes, no, don't. You'll make them so, self-conscious.
She was so sweet, Patty.
She was. She looked out for all of you guys. She is an integral part of my filmmaking process now. She really... She kept reminding me in this show, Gary Kai. She kept going, Gary Kai. Do you have coverage on Gary Kai? Double D, double D. Double D's at the center of the story. Are we getting enough coverage on him?
There I am. It's true, yeah.
And she helps me. She really helps me keep my focus.
Oh, this is
Here's
fantastic.
where Billy just jams to the thing.
You just lose your shit, Billy.
We have a serious problem out here. We need help right away. Can anybody hear me?
Is that a cutback, or did you actually hold that tear into the last possible second? Okay, I'll let it go right here. Come
Right here. It's got to be perfect.
Ray Wise and Luke Edwards again, and Mac, the neurotic dog.
That tree, is that the tree they were smoking
That's
behind?
the same tree the cheerleaders are smoking behind. It's the same tree that the bus goes by. It's like it's the Flintstones couch. It keeps going past, past, and past in every scene.
This is cool how they peeled it back like sardines on the roof.
Yeah, what I thought would be great about this was, what if I could show this station wagon opened up like a can of sardines? Then the audience knows that, hey, the creeper could open that bus up anytime he wanted. So
Oh, yeah.
that was the idea behind this, was suggesting that these kids are not safe on this bus at all, that all he had to do was come in whenever he wanted to.
I had a line that we were a bunch of sardines sitting on a tin can.
That's right.
Oh, that's right.
That was
Didn't make
part
it
of
out
what we
there.
got cut out, but that was also part of this whole idea.
Where did that bumper sticker come from?
We just wanted a bumper sticker that in this scene that
You could
be
identify later.
could be inane in the first scene, but in this scene it would have some kind of a funny. Some parts are missing, yes, because the creeper definitely took some parts from these people. So
Kind of like the red little girl in Schindler's List.
exactly, and it also helped, like you say, Mary. It helped them identify the station wagon, because if you're as dense as I am at a movie, sometimes you need more information than most people.
Than
Oh, that's the
necessary. Yeah, me
station
too.
wagon. I remember that. I just wanted to make sure there was no mistaking it.
In a broken down school bus out on East 9.
I remember you called me out there to the ranch. We actually filmed this part right here in the studio, and then you called me out to the ranch to feed these guys their lines. And I had a headset on, and I remember it just wasn't working, and they're like, what the hell is he saying? Can you even hear him? Like, this just isn't working.
And Ray finally came over to me and said, "Look, can I do this by myself?"
Yeah.
You know, I was-
Get Billy, send Billy home.
I was trying to give him something to play off of, Billy, but
Yeah.
you know, as it turned out, it worked better for him without.
Hey, I got a free meal that night.
That's right. That's
Felt
right.
bad that night. Pulled Joel away out there for that.
As we're standing at craft service, stuffing our pockets with everything we can take home. You know?
Take back to the hotel, dude.
Exactly.
That place was a
Twinkies,
killer.
and coffee.
The cops, you gotta promise me that you'll call them and you'll tell them that we're stuck out here. I'll call
This is where the character of Taggart I wanted to get darker, like Ahab in Moby Dick, who refuses to go help this other ship look for a lost boy. I wanted Taggart to turn off this radio. He doesn't want the cops out there. He doesn't care how many of these kids die.
Yeah.
The creeper is his, and all other considerations are secondary.
Yeah, he just lied to me.
He lied right to
He
all of
lied
you.
to Bucky and everybody else.
I like how you made Luke kind of. He starts to stick up, and then he's like, "Nah."
Luke
his
just
dad,
Luke
you know?
is so
He's
I
amazing.
I just can't say enough about Luke Edwards. I think he is just a really overlooked gem.
He is. He's wonderful.
Fantastic.
Is this the first time you used him in one of your films?
It is, even though I've seen him. You know, I've watched him grow up in front of the cameras, but this is the first time. Hopefully, not the last.
False hope.
Yes, I think we all know that you should never cheer in horror movies, because
exactly,
something
exactly.
bad always happens when you cheer in a horror movie.
And Bucky gets the worst of it.
That's a great one.
Several times.
Now talk about this, Billy. This was a hard day for you.
Oh my God, it was. And see, I think when I get attacked here, everybody else disappears, and then it was just me in the bus for like an hour, dying over and over and over
You had to
again.
keep his hand was on your
well, not
head,
dying,
and you
but oh my gosh, I was so out of breath.
you
I just
screamed
about-
yourself raw.
yeah,
I remember that.
I just about fainted afterwards. And it was a lunch break afterwards, too, and I couldn't even eat. I thought I was going to die.
Oh, here's my big moment.
Oh yeah, Marie.
I love that you have a girl coming in over and over again, saving the day.
I
Yeah.
do too. You know.
It's so cool
There's nothing better than a kick-ass girl.
What does that say about us guys?
that you're big.
Oh, Victor, there was a cameo by you. The magazine was on the floor.
That was my only. That was the only place we could fit that cameo. And since Marie is attacking the creature, it will never be seen.
Which you should tell everybody so they can go back and pause it.
I'm on the cover of a Sports Illustrated magazine.